Okay, so the topic today is the cost of coming to Japan to live. So I've got
Stacy.
Lionel.
and I'm Lorena, and we're gonna discuss this very awesome topic.
Awesome as in
Like draining.
very draining.
Very draining. So
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. So we start with so you're preparing to come here.
yes, to
And-
prepare to come here.
So before you even leave, you've got to get your plane ticket first of all.
Yes.
How much did your guys' one-way tickets cost?
My one-way ticket was actually a lot more expensive than a round trip, so I ended up buying a round trip
Oh.
with a return date in December, and I'm only gonna pay for the date change, which is gonna be about $100 to change it if I need to.
Oh, interesting. How did that cost?
Yeah, how much was that?
That was $2,200 as opposed to a one-way ticket being $1,900.
Whoa! And where are you coming from? Just so everyone-
Coming from Boston.
Boston.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, I flew out of O'Hare in Chicago. My ticket was $1,200, maybe a little bit more with tax, and I had a direct flight. So
How did I get the cheapest ticket out of you guys? You had a direct flight. I flew out of Halifax, Nova Scotia in Canada, and it cost a little under $900 Canadian,
okay.
but there was two stops. So Halifax and Toronto, Toronto to Vancouver, Vancouver to Narita.
Wow.
It was
That's a lot.
about 22 hours.
Yeah. Wow.
I wanted to die by the end of it.
Yeah. The flight is so long. I mean, if you're gonna fly here, you should just stay here. It's too far to come only for like a week.
And it's almost worth it to pay the extra couple $100 for priority seating.
Yes.
Or
yes.
something with a little more leg room.
Yes, that's true. And such a long flight, the more room you get, the better.
Take it from this guy, I did not spend the extra bucks and splurge on the priority seating, so I was cramped for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Same.
Not
I
fun.
didn't spend the extra, and
Yeah.
it was the guy next to me was like a man spreader. So it was pretty awful.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I was lucky because I flew with two people that I knew, so we planned to get all 3 seats in the same section. So it was easy to wake up the person next to you if you needed to use the bathroom or trade seats. So I was lucky.
Did you guys have window seats?
Yes, we had both of us.
Whatever.
Okay, I had a window seat and then we had the middle seat and then the aisle seat. So
I had an aisle seat and I was at the end.
Okay.
That's
So-
good though.
It was,
Yeah.
except the guy in the middle always needed to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
See,
Always.
I requested the window seat, but I feel like there's a lot of pressure with having the window seat because you're controlling the window.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure. I wanted to look out the window, but the guy next to me is sleeping and it's bright outside, so
Yeah.
there's a little bit of that. It wasn't so bad on the flight to Japan from Vancouver because they had these dimming windows that you just press the button and it just kind of dims it. It was super high tech. It was really
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What airline did everyone fly?
cool. I went with Air Canada.
Air Canada.
Okay. Oh, my Raf likes Air Canada. They're good. Yeah. I use ANA.
Yeah, I also did ANA as well.
Okay.
I like
All
ANA.
Nippon Airways.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
interesting.
we had the flight costs.
Yes.
And then the stuff you have to buy before you get here. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but I didn't really have teacher's wardrobe.
Yeah.
I had to pretty much buy a whole new wardrobe.
Yeah. And that's teachers' wardrobes by Japan standards. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which means, gentlemen, slacks, nice shirt, ties.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always, every day.
So you have to have a suit. You have to have at least
Yes.
one
And
suit.
at least one suit, gray or blue, preferably.
Gray or blue? No black?
Gray or blue, preferably.
Oh.
Everyone has either gray or blue suits.
Oh, okay.
I had black one.
Yeah.
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 So you need that definitely for ceremonies.
Yes.
You have to have a black suit.
And they like ceremonies here.
Yes.
Dude.
And
I
for
love-
Board of Education visits and that sort of thing, you're supposed to wear a
Mhm.
suit.
Yeah. That's true. So you need a suit. Probably not a strange colored suit. Maybe like Lionel said, blue, gray, black. You probably need a tie. Yeah.
Avoid
white
black ties in Japan because Japans are usually meant for death or funerals.
Oh, really? I didn't
So
know that.
try not to wear gentlemen. Try not to wear a black tie.
Oh wow.
And then daily working clothes is kind of business casual.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of school you're in. I know the elementary schools can be a little more casual depending on if you get permission from the school or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, but on average, I mean, you need white shirts, maybe some blue shirts. You can wear sweaters. At my school, I wear sweaters with dress pants.
Dress pants, no jeans.
Yeah, no, never jeans.
Absolutely no
Not
jeans.
even dark jeans.
And
Never
then
jeans.
Nothing.
all the shoes you need. So like I have 2 schools, so I need a pair of indoor shoes for each school. And Lionel, you have 3 schools.
I have 3 schools, and I've been currently taking my pair of indoor shoes to each individual school, and it's taking a toll because your bag gets just filled
Heavy.
when you also need your school supplies. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's best if you get shoes for each
Yeah.
individual school.
Unless you're lucky, like Lorena, and just have 1 school.
I have 1 school, so just 1 pair of indoor shoes. Because in Japan, people wear indoor shoes inside schools.
This is interesting. I was told at my school that during May, starting in May, all the students will be barefoot indoors and outdoors.
Wow.
But I guess that's extremely rare. I've never, even my coordinator had never heard of that before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Strange.
So then shoes, it's another cost. And then, did you guys bring any like omiyage, like gifts for people here?
I actually did,
Oh yeah.
but during training, when I had my luggage shipped from the training session to where I would be staying, I discovered that it was stolen out of my bags.
Ugh.
So
Yeah.
be careful.
Yeah. Yeah. I did not. Well, I brought some candy, but I ate it.
Okay,
So,
I'm not gonna lie, I ate some of my candy too. But I also had little, like I brought little hard maple candies. I gave you
yes.
one before.
Yeah, those are good.
I brought like 40. I did give a couple to some of my friends at training, but I didn't have enough for both schools. There's a lot of teachers at the schools, so I only gave some to 1 school and I feel kind of bad.
Yeah.
Mm. So
Yes.
that's another cost before
Mhm.
you even leave. And then of course there's like a lot of documentation. You need a passport, that's expensive.
Yeah.
International's driver's license
if you want one.
wasn't too expensive, but still, you know, I think mine was $35
Yeah.
in
Oh, you got
Canada.
one?
Yeah, about
Yeah.
same.
And you know, you want to have a new pair of glasses, or
Yeah.
like you want extra medication, or so there's all those costs to consider as well.
Yeah, of course.
Actually, before I came, I went in a panic frenzy and went to Target and spent $400 on nothing but deodorant and soap.
Oh yeah.
And
that's
then decided I was crazy and needed to take all that stuff back.
true. Yeah.
Which now I'm actually wishing I kept.
My boyfriend's mailing me deodorant.
Yeah.
Most deodorant here doesn't have antiperspirant in it. It's just to stop the smell, but not to stop the sweating.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's. I think Toiletries is the one. It's like a money guzzler and a space guzzler in your luggage.
Yes.
But I brought a lot of toiletries. I brought toothpaste and shampoo and all my American products. Yeah,
lady products.
lady products.
Tampons aren't very popular here.
No, and so,
So if you're a tampon person, you might want to stock up.
yeah, and they're not only are they expensive here, but they come in like tiny packages. So yeah, they're kind of hard to find. It's just it's a pad country.
It's bad country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I brought a ton of toiletries. If you want to immerse yourself, you by no means have to bring all the toiletries, and it's probably better if you don't. But I like my American products, so I brought everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was expensive.
Yeah.
It adds up
Really?
so fast.
And it's
It really
heavy.
does.
Heavy.
Yeah. Yes.
And if
Very
you have an experience like we did, we had to transport our luggage quite a bit.
Yes.
When I first got here, I stayed at a hostel, and I had to carry my luggage, and I was lucky because I only brought 1 suitcase. But if I had
wow.
2, it would have been a lot harder
Yeah.
to carry it from the airport to the hostel.
It sucked. I had 2 big luggages that I checked, and I had a duffel and I had a backpack.
Wow.
Yeah, I had the same as Lorena.
Yeah.
2 big luggages, a duffel bag, and a backpack.
I had the 1 in a duffel bag and a backpack.
Good.
But then, okay, so then the costs once you get here. So, unless you're arriving as soon as your training date starts, which they don't recommend, then you're gonna need a place to stay for a few days.
Mhm.
I stayed at a hostel, but there's also like couch surfing options and
Yes.
Airbnb and that sort of thing.
I stayed at an Airbnb. It
Oh,
cost
cool.
me about $120 for 3 nights,
Okay, nice.
but
Okay.
in Shinjuku, so which wasn't bad.
Ooh.
So
That is good.
Yeah.
I arrived 6 nights before training started, and I stayed at a hotel because I had a friend traveling with me, and it was $300. $300? Yeah, $300 for me, but I shared a room, so total for the hotel was $600.
Wow. that's
So-
nice.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I stayed at a hostel for 5 nights, and it was about $20 a night.
Okay.
so it
that's
wasn't
good.
too bad. But I was in a room with like 10 people,
Yeah.
so you know it depends on how much money you have with you and kind of what situation you want to be in.
Yeah.
So then, not only there's the transportation cost.
Yeah, and transportation here is serious. People take the train everywhere, which is very convenient, but cost adds up.
It adds up so
fast.
Extremely
Oh,
yeah.
fast.
Yeah, I got a Swika. It's a card that's reloadable
Mhm.
that you use to get on the train. It's much easier than buying a ticket, but I was loading up that puppy all the time.
There's two different cards, the Suica and the Pasmo.
Yes.
I have the Pasmo.
I also have the Pasmo.
Yeah, but they do the exact same thing,
Yeah.
and they do make it a little bit cheaper. So
Yeah.
I think it's a $5 deposit, 500 yen deposit. So if you're going to be here for a little while, I highly recommend getting
Yeah,
a pass card.
I think even if you're just visiting,
Mhm.
if you want to like travel around using the trains, yeah, just get a Swika. Or a Pasmo. You can get that deposit back if you return the card.
Only for a Suica though, not for a Pasmo.
Oh, for
really?
Pasmo.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And you know, they can always be a nice souvenir that you keep too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, but oh, go ahead.
I don't know.
There's
Go ahead.
there's Pasmos and Suicas you can actually personalize with your name on it
Yeah.
for an extra $5. So rather than $5, it's $10. But
Yeah.
that's your own discretion.
Yeah. And that's cool because I have some friends that have lost things and they have gotten them back because people sometimes are pretty honest and just return things. So if your name's on it, you probably will get it back.
Right. Okay, so we have our flight, or our stuff before the flight, our accommodations before training, and our transportation. And then there's food, of course, which
Yes.
convenience stores are usually a pretty good place to get quick food, but you don't really have a lot of storage for.
Combis are nothing like it is in America.
Yeah.
The food in Combis are actually very, very good
Yeah.
and much value for what you're getting,
Yeah.
actually.
Mhm. Yeah, they really like their like pre-prepared meals here.
Mm-hmm.
It's way better than those like microwave meals that you can find back home.
One of my favorite things about the convenience stores are the selection of hot drinks, like a hot bottle of
yes.
tea or a hot can of coffee. I really
Yeah.
like those.
Yeah.
That's something we don't have back home.
Yeah. So convenience stores are definitely the cheap route. I found that it was tough for me to go cheap because I had all my money and it felt like I had a lot of money. So I was going to like nicer ramen restaurants. I wanted to have all the good food, sushi, and that sort of thing. So I was spending between 7,000 yen, or I guess around $7 to around 1,200 yen, or 12 American dollars for a meal.
Yeah.
And that added up so fast.
And you could easily get a meal at a convenience store for $3.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's true. Yeah.
And these meals usually have your meats, your
Grain.
grains,
Yeah.
and some veggies if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Mostly maybe seaweed or something, but
Yeah.
still veggies. All for like under $4, which is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you want to go cheap, there are definitely options here. Lots of cheap options. Lots of places where you can get like bentos or prepared meals, and it's so cheap.
We should do another video about that sometime.
We should do that bentos.
And then other costs. So training, we didn't have to pay for training, but we also didn't get paid for training.
Right.
Right.
Yes, that's true.
But we did have to pay for our food for training.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know how much that was.
Which I
Which will
believe
come off
was
our paycheck.
roughly $6 a meal
A
and
meal.
3
Was it?
meals a day.
Yeah.
And you have to have lunch.
And you have to have
We
lunch.
couldn't opt out of lunch.
You could
Yeah.
opt out of breakfast and dinner, but not lunch.
Yeah.
I went with it just because it was convenient. In hindsight, I probably didn't have to have breakfast because by the end of the week I got tired of breakfast.
Yeah.
I was getting so angry with a dried piece of bread and a
Yeah,
like soup every morning.
that's true. The meals at training were kind of repetitive. It kind of felt like we had the same thing every day. So
Yep.
I opted out of breakfast most days.
It actually was. With each meal, you got a small bowl of soup, small to medium sized bowl of rice, and then a smaller plate of whatever the main dish
Yeah.
was.
Yes.
And it was usually cold.
Yes. Oh, that's true about Japanese food.
Yeah.
It's often cold or
Yeah.
chilled.
So that comes off our paycheck though. That wasn't an upfront cost.
Yeah.
How about the apartment costs?
Oh God.
We could probably do a whole video of just getting an apartment.
Yeah.
in Japan.
Yeah.
But so when you get your apartment, our company, which will remain nameless, we'll just call it the company, had a guarantor company for us,
Yes.
which found us apartments through Leo Palace. So we had our Leo Palace fees, which was a deposit of 1 month. Did we pay deposit?
I had to do 2 months deposit.
2 months deposit. So our first and second month, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And then there's a guarantor fee, which is also 1 month's rent, which we never get back. There was key money. Did you guys have key money on yours? Some
I
people
had key
didn't.
money.
I did.
Key money, which is a gift to the landlord, which you never get back. And then there's
There's a security deposit that you may get back.
maybe,
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Probably not.
No. And the leases are 2 years long, yet our working contracts are just 1 year
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
So that's something also to consider. If you decide to just come for 1 year, when you leave, you are going to have to pay a lease cancellation fee, and we have a cleaning fee that we
Yes,
have to pay,
that's
which is
extremely
another about
high.
$300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially considering when we moved in, we had to pay a $120 fumigation fee. And insurance. Insurance was
And insurance as
$150, and it does not cover earthquakes.
Yeah.
Which is the one thing you need. in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was,
True.
for me, almost $2,500.
You paid an extra month
I
though.
paid an extra month.
Yeah.
So you have your first month, which is usually prorated because we moved in the middle of the month.
Yes.
And then we had to pay for our next month. So we paid for half of March and April. And then we could opt to pay for May on the spot, and I did, and that's why it came to about 2,500. Otherwise, it would have been closer to $2,000.
So roughly, let's say if you're paying $500 in rent, you have to pay your first and your second month, which is $1,000.
Mhm.
Then the guarantor fee, which is equivalent of 1 month's rent, which brings it up to $1,500.
Yep.
And then the landlord fee, which is another month's rent, which brings it up to.
Mine wasn't that.
It
much.
wasn't?
No, mine was like $200. It depends. It's
Oh.
different for every landlord, and you might be lucky to
It-
get a landlord that doesn't have any.
Yeah.
So, well, I had to pay the equivalent of another month's rent, so which would have brought it up to $2,000, $200 key deposit, $300 fumigation fee, which is $2,500, and then I had to pay the Leo Palace fee, which was another $500. So that's now $3,000. Now, mind you, mind you, this is saying that my rent was $500, which it's way more than $500.
Yeah.
And then the security deposit and what was the other? The insurance fee.
Mhm.
So roughly, you're looking about $3,300 to $3,500
Yeah.
if your rent is $500.
And to be honest, the insurance wasn't too expensive. It was $150 for 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty practical, but it's all added up together. It's
So
like
much money.
so much
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, and
So much money.
it's way more, like I know back home, for the most part you pay the deposit and then 1 month up front.
Mhm.
It's just so much more. You have so many other things that you have to add in, so many fees and cleaning, and it's just insane.
Yeah.
Mine was $1,900 around. Stacy and I live in the same building, so our cost is the same essentially. Mine's a little bit more. I live on the third floor,
Third
so
floor.
mine's a little bit more. And I did not pay an extra month, so I paid for the prorated first month and then the whole second month, and it was around $1,900.
Mhm.
Yeah, so yes, it's a lot of money. Yeah.
So there are better options like share houses if you don't mind living with other people.
Yeah, that's
Other
true.
strangers.
Yeah.
Other
Other strangers.
But I like my apartment. I'm glad I have it. It was just a bit of a shock. I knew it was going to cost a lot up front, but it was just stressful forking over that much money and knowing that I have to pay rent in a couple months again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's very difficult, especially since we don't get paid for like 2 months after 2 months of work.
Yeah, so we get paid at the end of the month for the previous month. So we started working in April and we get paid for April at the end of May. And it won't be a full paycheck because it's prorated as well.
Yeah.
And all our extra fees are coming out, like our food at training, our lunches at the school, which comes out of our pay.
Yeah.
And like if you guys had to get a Honko, like a name stamp made up,
Yeah.
that's coming out of our paycheck as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, another fee is also working in elementary schools. You have to eat with your students.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that is about $3 a day.
Yeah.
And so that's also an added fee that we have to pay
Comes
out
out of
as
the
well.
paycheck. The food's not bad though.
The food
No.
actually is not bad.
No,
though.
it's so healthy here.
I'm probably eating more vegetables now than I did back home because I'm
Yeah.
getting that. I didn't eat vegetables with my lunch that often back home, so now I'm getting it with my lunch.
Yeah, it's balanced meals here
Yeah,
at lunch. It's
very
really great.
balanced.
But yes, you have all that right up front. And of course, that's not including that for 2 months you have to eat food. So we don't get paid until the end of May, which incidentally is we get paid after the rent is due.
2 days.
2 days, 2 days, something like that. After
3
the
days.
3 days.
3 days after the rent is due.
Yeah. So we have to come up with that money for the month of May. You don't. When do you do?
I do for June because we get paid May 30th, and our rent comes for June comes out May 27th.
Yeah. So we have to come up with around 600
Mm-hmm.
roughly. Plus, I haven't got any bills yet, so I don't know how much bills are.
I actually got an electricity bill the same day that I moved in. So
They're hitting you,
no
Lionel.
clue. Yeah.
I think Japan has a thing against you.
Yeah, just me.
And then the apartments are semi-furnished. So you have a fridge and a table and 2 uncomfortable chairs, a microwave,
A microwave.
a stove, and that
2-burner stove.
2-burner
Two
stove.
burner.
That's pretty much it. Television and internet is included in rent. And mine's $1,600 a month,
Yep.
so $16 a month.
$16.
That's cheap.
That's pretty cheap. Yeah.
It's really good internet too. But then we don't have beds. Like we don't
Yeah,
have futons. We had to buy futons.
Yeah. So we have kind of like the frame, like a bed frame
Mhm.
type thing, but we need to get like a mattress or a futon.
Again, maybe it's only me, but I have no bed frame, so I only have to buy a futon and sleep on my floor.
Oh.
Oh,
So-
I'm sorry.
Well, it's basically like sleeping on the floor anyway.
It really is.
But
Yeah.
the city we live in, we had a hard time finding a place to buy a futon, so we went to the department store. It was more expensive.
Yes.
But I don't know, maybe a better quality futon. My futon was like $100 ish, but then the bed sheets were $30 and the blankets were another $20 and
Yeah. Pillows if you want pillows.
it's really expensive.
Yeah.
But there's other options. We just didn't have a good layout of our city at that point, so.
Yeah. So we just got into the city, so we didn't really know where to go.
Mhm.
So we just opted in for whatever we found first because we didn't want to sleep on the floor or the wooden bed frame. So yeah, we went to a department store and we got ours on sale.
Yeah.
So it was more expensive futons, just cheaper. And mine was mine was also 100, I think. Yeah. And then of course the bed sheets. I brought a pillow from home because I like my pillow from home, so I brought it with me. I stuffed it in a vacuum seal bag. But yeah, so futon was around 100, but you're looking between, maybe between like $70 to $200.
Yeah.
But I would be weary of the cheaper ones, just because they're cheap and they're probably not very comfortable. I love mine.
Let's see, I actually bought a set for $70, and
Oh,
it
did
came with the futon, a pillow, and all the beddings for it, and it's actually not bad. But saying that, I slept on the floor for a week,
Oh, wow.
so anything is better
That's
than the
right.
floor.
I slept on the floor for one night and it was terrible.
Yeah.
I made a nest out of clothes.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, you know, we get here and all we've got are clothes.
And we
clothes
don't know the city at all.
Yeah.
No.
So
Yeah, I got a futon right away. I moved in the day after Stacy. So, yeah, we just went futon shopping together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so 100
They
bucks.
actually live, like, in the same building.
Yeah.
I have no one around me, so I have to travel for human contact.
Aw, thank you for
Womp womp.
visiting. Lorena.
And then there's the cell phones.
Oh, God, no.
Okay,
it's so
so
fast.
when we signed our apartment lease, they told us if we don't have a cell phone by May 27th, we can get kicked out of our apartments. You have to have a phone.
Did they say that?
They
They
did.
did. You need
And then-
a Japanese phone number.
A Japanese phone number, which
Oh.
you could get with Skype if
Yeah,
you
you
really
get a
wanted
Skype
to.
number. Yeah.
But we were also told when we initially got our papers for school, we were told we had to call our supervisor or coordinator, text him every day to let him know we were at school. It's
Yeah.
changed since then, but so we were pretty much told you have to have a cell phone. So since we only have 1-year visas, we couldn't get a 2-year phone contract. And the 2-year phone contract is the one where you get the free phones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
discounted.
We had to buy cell phones.
Upfront costs.
Yeah.
Yes. I bought the cheapest smartphone I could get, which is the Kyocera Digno. And it was, with all the initial fees, it came to just under $400. And it's an okay phone. It's an Android. I like it.
I actually got an iPhone, first ever iPhone.
Ooh.
And it was actually cheaper to get an iPhone, including monthly bill, at an upfront cost, as opposed to an Android phone. So my monthly bill is about $55 a month, and the phone costs me roughly $640 American dollars.
Which SoftBank did you go to?
I went to the SoftBank in Shinjuku.
Okay.
Oh,
I think it might depend on which SoftBank you go to.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Because for me, this was the cheapest phone I could get.
Mm.
So maybe shop around. It was recommended for us to go to SoftBank because they do have English-speaking staff at some of their locations.
Yeah.
You can find those on their website.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
I went to the Stop Bank in Shibuya.
Okay.
Yeah, I got an iPhone as well. I got the iPhone 5C. It's the cheapest iPhone.
So
it's
cute.
like plastic. And I paid around, I can't remember now, but it's between $450 and $500. And my monthly plan is around what Lionel's is, $55. Yeah. So I like my phone, but it's a lot of money up front.
Yeah.
So
Another big upfront cost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Japan is a cash-based society and a lot of upfront costs for foreigners.
yeah, it's true.
These guys didn't get bicycles, but I opted to get a bicycle. I got one on sale for about $100.
Hmm. But that's an extremely good deal for a bicycle.
Yeah.
Yes.
On average, you're probably going to be spending $150.
200 maybe
Yeah.
for a bicycle.
Yeah.
And it's nothing fancy if you're American watching this. It's nothing what we're used
No,
to.
no gears. No gears.
At all.
No.
One
changes.
speed.
One
Yeah.
speed.
And
That's
a cute little basket in front.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you want like an actual nice bike, like if you are biking to a lot of schools and maybe it's a hilly town, I would probably go a little more expensive. Get those gears to help you out. But that's gonna cost like $200 or
Mhm.
more. Yeah, definitely.
Another initial cost.
Yeah.
What else? Well, we have to buy a lot of our own school supplies.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. The 100 yen stores are really great, but if you have several schools, I mean, you're probably gonna be spending like $20 or more.
Yeah.
Per lesson, maybe.
Yeah,
actually.
sometimes. Yeah.
I have two schools, so I got 2 staplers and like 2 sets of markers and 2 notebooks, so kind of doubles everything. You have to have a toothbrush for school.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do.
I don't.
I have one for each school, and then a mug for each school because they're gonna want to give you tea.
No one offers me tea.
Oh,
Really?
maybe
Yeah.
because you don't have a
I'm
mug.
sorry.
But maybe
No,
because I don't have a
no,
mug.
I don't have a mug, and there's always tea on my desk when I get there.
Yeah.
I
Which is
don't-
kind of a nice perk.
There's like a magical, invisible person that brings me tea
Okay.
every
Call her
day.
School secretary.
Tea and
Just
snacks.
call her invisible.
Well,
I think their only job is to provide tea and coffee, which
Yeah.
is awesome.
yeah, they're really nice.
I can't think of any other initial costs.
Let's see.
Just like
No.
surviving for 2 months. I mean, we don't get paid for 2 months, so what are we supposed to do with our time when we're not working? Like sit and
Yeah.
twiddle our thumbs? No, we want to
Yeah.
go out and like have a couple drinks, go to dinner, check out
Explore.
Japan, right?
Yeah. Actually, there's a couple more things. Yes, our apartments are furnished, but of course you need other stuff. You need to get, I don't know, kitchen supplies, dishes,
Toilet paper.
toilet paper.
There wasn't even like a courtesy roll of toilet
Not
paper.
like not like a little one. Like you need stuff. You
Yeah.
need mats. If you didn't bring toiletries, you probably need toiletries.
Hangers.
Hangers. Yeah.
Everything.
You need things to food. You need to stock your place with some food.
Laundry detergent,
Laundry detergent. Yeah.
if you can figure that out.
Oh yeah.
That's another video.
So there's a lot of general household things that you don't have here that you need. And then there's one more thing that I can think of. There's something called Enkai. At your schools.
Yes.
Enkai is a staff party. And Enkai is very expensive, in my opinion. I just had mine yesterday. It was 5,000 yen, $50 roughly.
Mine is $90.
Yeah.
Per Lionel.
Yeah.
I was in-
get the short end of it.
I was invited to a $60 one for one of my schools, and I did turn it down. If I had the money, I would go because it's kind of important to mingle with your coworkers.
It is. Yeah.
It's encouraged that you go, and they're fun. I've been to them before, and they're really
Yeah.
enjoyable.
It's true.
But Enkais are good to attend because it's the only time like the other teachers that you work with can get to know you on a personal level,
Yeah.
which can actually make your experience a lot better.
That's true, and you're new, but you're not the only person that's new. There's also more teachers that it's their first year, so it's it's like Lionel's right. It's just all about like communicating with the new people and people that have been there, and it's kind of indispensable to go, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sad I'm missing mine, but it's just It's a lot of money.
Yeah, you have to make the wise decision. You know, one night of like fun, maybe positive social outcome with your school, or like a week of eating more. You know,
These Enkais, though, just so you know, is all you can eat and all you can drink.
Usually, not all.
No, because you know,
I take it back.
because I thought it was gonna be like at an izakaya, which is like a bar where you pay like an upfront cost and you get like all this food. But mine was like at a hotel. It was like a pre-planned party, and it was definitely not all you can eat. It was all you can drink though. It was an open bar, but I couldn't order anything because I don't know what it is in Japanese. But yeah, we had it was like a fancy thing. So I mean, like I'm talking like those big plates and those tiny portions, and a whole lot of talking, so I couldn't eat a whole lot of food.
And we also had to pay for our staff party for training.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
we
that
also
That was
did have
$20,
to do that, 20
and it was
bucks.
only for 2 hours, and it got cut short.
But that was
But most
delicious.
restaurants here is only for 2 hours. You only have a 2-hour time limit, so that's usual.
That was delicious.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was cool.
So I think that's it. I don't know if there's anything else. Let's see.
If you're coming to Japan for work, and you have a training group, be friends with the people you work
Yes.
with.
It's true.
Because
Yes.
you're gonna want to have bitch fests and speak speak English to somebody, because it can get kind of tiring just communicating in Japanese all day. It's not if you're not perfectly fluent in it.
Yeah.
That's true. I know some days I feel so drained because I just sit there and I don't understand anything that anybody's saying. And so I think all day there might be like 20 minutes or 30 minutes where I actually understand what's going on. Teachers talking to me in English. And everyone's very friendly and they try. But for the most part, you're just sitting there and you have no idea what's going on.
I've had days where I come home and I want to go to the grocery store, but the nearest grocery store, the lady talks to me in Japanese a lot. Like, we have conversations, and some days I'm just like, not today, I'm too tired. I'm going to go to the further grocery store.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty draining. So, like Stacy said, make friends with the people that are also foreigners like you. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, that's it.
So
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay.
Thanks
Bye.
for watching. See ya.
Bye.